Well, it certainly is a pleasure to be here again. As always, it's kind of the highlight of my Memorial Day weekend. And it's just a great turnout for so many of you folks who, in the middle of your day, decided that this was more important than going to the lake, interrupt your day of hundreds of things that you could have been doing, could have been saying. So it's a tribute of why we're here. We're here because of the sacrifices of our military, of our husbands, wives, brothers, sisters. And we're here because of the sacrifice that this place marks. You know, we all think about next week, we think about next month, we think about our future. But without these folks who fought and died, we would not have a future. In fact, if you look back into history, it's the heroes and the champions that write our history. And we're among their last resting spot right now. I see some folks out here that probably belong to what's been called the greatest generation that fought in World War II. And we honor your service. Your comrades are here. But there's other generations of soldiers here as well. Korea, Vietnam. And you know, it's sad that you Vietnam vets were not welcomed home. And it's a shame. We want to welcome you now because you fought for us. You fought for our freedoms. And if we've not told you, we thank you for your service. But we have new generations that are coming up, that are fighting, that have fought the wars in Iraq, that are fighting the wars in Afghanistan. Right now, they're putting themselves in harm's way. And we can't forget that the mastermind of 9/11 was taken out by Navy SEALs. And we sure thank them for their dedication to their work as well. If you look around this building, we're surrounded by silent centuries of those markers that mark the last remains of a soldier. But you know what's interesting, and many of you already know this, that often the wives or the husbands are buried here as well, because they served in their own way here on this land when their loved ones were across the sea. And you may have your husband, your wife, brother, your sister, father, mother. You all served on the home front when they were out on the battlefield, supporting them, praying for them. And we thank you for that, because you don't get thanked very much either, but you suffer and sacrifice just as they did on the battlefield. I don't know if everyone can see this. It's a jar of dirt. Here in Oklahoma we call it dirt. Some people call it soil. You know, and it's not too remarkable. It's just ordinary dirt. If I planted some corn seeds in there, and if I watered it, fertilized it, I'd probably grow a crop and be able to eat that fruit. But you know what? This is not just ordinary soil. This is American soil. This is the very land. This is the very land that immigrants all across the world want to come and live in, because we have freedom here. We fight for freedom. Our founding fathers came to this country because they believed in freedom. And when tyranny raised its head, they drew a line in the sand and they said, enough. They said, we will pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor to defend it, and they did. And we have new generations of patriots that are growing up today. Our founding fathers planted the seeds of liberty, and it sprouted a crop. And they watered it with their tears, they fertilized it with their blood, and it's up to us to continue that legacy. Our soldiers are fighting for our freedom. And as far as we continue to stand here, it's our job to cultivate that freedom. They paid for it with their sweat, their blood, and we should pay for it with our service and our dedication to their dedicated work. The best thing that we can do, we can never pay for the price of their sacrifice, because you can't calculate their lives in monetary figures. But what we can do, we can stand up for liberty. We can stand up for freedom. we can stand behind our military folks, and we can always remember and never forget the sacrifice that was shown here on these grounds with all these markers. They are the evidence of freedom. That's the price of freedom. So let's live our lives in such a way that freedom will continue to grow, and that the Lord will continue to bless our military and continue to bless the great United